Attorneys for a family of a Georgia woman killed by cops during the execution of a search warrant want the Justice Department to investigate the case. LaToya James was killed by bullets from a Camden County deputy's gun. They were at the house executing a warrant against her cousin, Vashawn Brown. Brown, who fired back at officers, was charged with her death, even though it was a deputy's bullet that killed her. The shooting that happened in May of 2021 is being compared to the death of Breonna Taylor, who was killed by Louisville police in 2020. Under Georgia law, a person can be charged with murder if a death occurs during the commission of a crime. The Camden County Sheriff's Office says Brown was dealing drugs at the house. The shooting reportedly started seconds after deputies knocked down the door of Brown's home. We talked about this story before, and again, you know, we see it's a lawsuit, we see what it's leading to, but it's a senseless situation. This life should have not been lost from Jump Street. Yes, we do compare it to Breonna Taylor. Although we spoke about Breonna Taylor, she got a lot of exposure. This particular case did not, so I'm glad we're talking about it here on Fox News Black Report. But, you know, money, we always say it cannot replace someone's life. What do we do different moving forward to make sure this doesn't happen again?
Yeah. You know, in both cases, officers arrived in the middle of the night. When I say both cases, I'm talking about Breonna Taylor and this young lady here. Both cases, so the officers arrived in the middle of the night. They forced their way in. The officers say that they announced themselves. People inside the home are saying that they didn't hear that. And in each case involved a shootout. And it's really, really unfortunate because I think when you're sleeping in the middle of the night and someone forces their way into your home, it's a natural reaction, especially if you're a gun owner. Now, we don't know if he was a licensed gun owner or she was a licensed gun owner. We don't have those details. But I still think that instinct to protect yourself comes into play. And so, you know, and then shots were fired seconds after. And so, you know, it always boggles the mind how someone can enter your house in the middle of the night and immediately just start firing. It doesn't make any sense. I don't think that they would do this. They would go into a different neighborhood, you know, a Caucasian neighborhood, and immediately bust the door down and then start shooting in someone's home. They continue just to do it in certain neighborhoods and to certain people. And I think that the Justice Department, they've asked the Justice Department to look into this. The Justice Department says no comment right now. So we know that the Justice Department just charged the people in Breonna Taylor's case. And so, you know, maybe that's to come from this. And like you said, Romeo, we are bringing attention to this case because I hadn't heard of it until we did this story.
Exactly. Absolutely. You know, Mimi and Romeo, I think that you guys both make excellent points. And the reality of it, where I think about it in my head, is that it's a vicious circle. And it all starts from police officers are aggressive with us, and they've killed us in the past so many different times. So in turn, like you said, we want to protect ourselves, or we want to run, or we feel like we need to shoot back. But because police officers know that we're afraid of them because the way that they treat us, then they use that as a way, I was nervous, so then I shot and killed you. And then it ends up just being this vicious circle, and the people that lose the most are us at the end of the day. And so, like you said, I don't think that it is strange for a person to barge into your door, police officer or not, and to grab your protection because you are fearful because of how police treat black people.
Or just if someone's at your door in the middle of the night and you hear the door coming down, you have no idea that it's the police.
You don't know who it is. I'm going to say this real quick with these no-knock warrants. I mean, how can we change the system? Because she was innocent. She didn't really live there, I don't think so. So if someone happens to be standing at your house and they're caught in a crossfire and their life is lost, how do we prevent that even though, right?
Absolutely.
And we know she was killed by one of the deputies' bullets. She was not killed by the bullet from inside the house. So.